recording. So for those of you that don't know me, which is probably most of you, to be honest, my name is Jess. I'm a careers advisor. I'm originally from Swindon and I now live in London. But the services that we're going to talk about today are our services that are available for schools across the nation. So it doesn't really matter where I am in relation to you. All of these things are accessible to everybody. Now, the whole reason that I started the Careers People was to support young people, like all of us. That's why we work in education. That's why we work in careers. That's why we do what we do. And then our secondary mission is to make careers professionals' lives easier. So the young people are always at the heart of everything we do. And as we build our products, we also obviously think about the careers professionals that are going to be using them and how they impact their lives and make things easier for you guys. So as we go through today, there's going to be a short introduction to myself and to the team at the Careers People. We're going to talk through the challenges and our solutions and our products that solve those challenges. All the pricing is in there. It's very transparent. We've got a couple of testimonies from schools, and then how to get in touch and sort of what to do next if you are interested to learn more or want to ask some questions and things. So firstly, a bit about me. My background is in recruitment and training. So I'm from industry, if you like, rather than being from an educational teaching background. I started off just me as the careers lady, working in schools as a freelance careers advisor. And as things grew, I started to work with schools and I worked with some employers and I worked with some education companies. I had a lot going on, and it soon became that it was just too busy for one person. And so the careers lady became the Careers People. And we are now a team of career specialists that work to bridge the gap between young people and their futures in whatever that might look like. So we're all careers advisors, so we all work in schools doing guidance, but then we also have other academies and programs and things that we run that you'll hear about in today's session. So this is our team, myself, Jess, and then Ray and Liz are both advisors. Ray's background is in teaching, and Liz's background, similar to me, is in recruitment and training. Lauren is so we call her Queen of Newsletters. She does all the administration tasks behind our newsletters. But in a more formal or more corporate capacity, I guess she'd be like operations manager. And some really exciting news for us is that from September, coming to September 2024, Lauren is going to be joining us on a more permanent basis and for some more hours a week. So she's going to be looking after far more of the operations, which means that when you get in touch with the Careers People, the response won't just be from me anymore, it'll be Lauren as well, which is great because it frees me up to do more careers related stuff and less business administration, which is not as exciting in my opinion. In terms of what makes us different, and this is I think what is really important to me, is that we are careers advisors supporting careers advisors. So we are not a big education company. I'm not a marketing manager or anything like that. I'm not someone that's outside the space looking in and sort of throwing in these expensive products and hoping they help someone. I know our products help people because we are on the ground and we are experiencing the challenges like budget restrictions, like the limited IT access, like how hard it is to book the hall at any decent time. All of those things that impact us as careers professionals in schools, we are experiencing it too. And so we create products that overcome our challenges, which also overcome everyone else's challenges. So we do this through creativity, obviously, but also the legislative knowledge of all the different frameworks, and just knowing what is going to be helpful for you guys. And every solution that I find that I then take out on a bigger scale and make available to everyone, I just think, why not? If we found something that overcomes a challenge for our profession and our industry, why would we not share that? And we do that. Some of it is free, some of it is paid for, and I will share everything with you today. So the first product that we started, that was a couple of years ago now, so we've got over 147 schools now that have the Careers newsletter. The challenge started that we get loads and loads of emails from companies, from employers, from universities, telling us about their events and their online webinars and their open days and all the great stuff they've got going on. But trying to take that information and actually send it out to students is really, really tricky. Do we put it on Teams? Do we put it in a newsletter? Do we send everything in an individual email and fill up their inboxes? No, they actually hate that. And so that's where our Careers newsletter came in. So it's basically a collation of all the good stuff that employers and universities are sharing, put into an opportunities newsletter. It also has a job of the week, employer of the week, and university of the week. So that's just aiming to expand students' horizons. They are national employers and national universities. So it's telling them maybe about universities that are not in your local area that they may not be aware of. We try to get some of the sort of more niche ones in there as well, so that we're really sharing things with them that they probably don't know or aren't aware of unless they've done their research. And we also have a labour market information fact in there as well, so great for benchmark. 3, 4, you know the one. Each feature aims to expand young people's knowledge of the careers landscape and obviously help them to make informed choices about their future as well. The careers newsletter is £200 a week, and that works out as £5.12 a week, which is less than the time it would take you to put it together. If you think whatever an hour of your time is worth to the school in terms of a financial basis, that's probably going to be, I hope, it's more than £5.12 an hour. It's completely branded as your school, and this is the main USP, is that from a stakeholder, so whether it's parent, student, whoever you're going to send it to, perspective, the newsletter has come from you. They have no idea that your school has not made it. You see them scrolling through in the background there. Every single one looks different because they're all based on that particular school's branding. And one of the things that's really important to me is that nobody can pay to be in the newsletter. So no one can say, if I give you £700, will you put me at the top of the newsletter? No, it doesn't work like that. I vet every single opportunity that's in there. If it's good, it goes in, and if it's not, then it doesn't, and that's the bottom line. So that's one of our biggest products, and that's the first one that we ever created. And from September 2024, we have got a specialist version for private and independent schools. Now, the difference between the newsletters, the one for private and independent schools, or state schools if you would like it, will not have any opportunities that are for widening participation cohorts. Feedback from the private and independent schools has been that our parents click on it, they think our students aren't eligible for it, why are you sending it to us? Which is fair enough. And the feedback from those schools was also that their parents don't mind paying for some things. So the private and independent schools version will also include some opportunities that are paid for as well. It won't look any different. It will just be the opportunities that are slightly different to suit the cohorts that attend those schools. But as I say, if you're a state school that would rather have no widening participation because your cohort doesn't really suit that either, and you don't mind having some paid ones on there, then you can also opt to have that newsletter instead. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to go through this quite quickly because I've got quite a lot to get through in a short space of time, and I'm a talker. So the next thing is the Apprenticeship Academy. The Apprenticeship Academy is our first online program that we created, and it came from the fact that all of the schools, or a lot of the schools that we worked in that had sixth forms, had a fantastic process that helped students that were looking at applying to UCAS. The UCAS process is really easy to follow. It's got set deadlines. You know exactly what to do in terms of helping your students. And when it comes to apprenticeships, it's like a different world because every employer has a different process. Employers are changing the way they recruit all the time, and AI is influencing their recruitment practices massively. So keeping on top of that is difficult as a careers professional working in a school because we are spinning lots of plates, and reading up on how AI is impacting recruitment processes every month is just another thing, right? So the whole idea of the Apprenticeship Academy is that you can take your students that are looking at an apprenticeship, you can refer them to this program, and then you know they're getting the most up-to-date information and the best support possible. So it's a 6-week online program. We run it on Zoom. It takes place after school on a Wednesday from 4 until 5:30 p.m. Some of the feedback, again, from private and independent schools has been that that's too early. They need a later one because they're still in school and their students aren't home by that time. So we're looking to see where we can fit that in. Programs begin 3 times a year. There's one in September, there's one in February, and there's one in June. So the idea is that there's no wrong time for a student to come to you and say, I'd like to learn about apprenticeships. There should always be an upcoming academy that you can refer them to. September and February are for year 11 and 13, and then on June we also welcome year 10 and year 12. However, if you have very keen year 10s and year 12s who want to be part of the September and February cohort, then of course they can be. We would never, if you think they're ready, put them on it. It's not a problem. The cost is £150 per academic year, and you can refer as many students as you need to. So you might have 50 that you refer in September, then only 10 in February, because that's a busy time for you in National Apprenticeship Week, National Careers Week, mock exams, everything else. And then more in June for the ones that maybe need some more support because they're at risk of NEET and things like that. So you can use it however you feel best for your school. There's a referral there on the side and a little bit more information, but I will send out these slides afterwards, and you can click the buttons where it says read more and all those sorts of things. You'll have access to be able to read more about anything that you would like to and that you are interested in. Oh, sorry, don't want to read more right now. Okay, there is time for those of you that are on the call. There is time at the end to ask questions, but I am going to fly through the products just to make sure we get everything in. So the next challenge that we came across within schools is consistent delivery of careers education. So what we found was that careers professionals, careers leaders had a fantastic program that they had brought into through all of the amazing resources that are available out there. But actually the delivery was inconsistent because the delivery depended on the tutors and the teachers that were delivering it being knowledgeable about the topic that they were delivering. And often they're not, because why would they be? They're maths teachers or they're chemistry teachers or they're English teachers. That's their thing. Their thing is not careers. Careers is our thing. And so what they were finding is that there were things like unintentional bias coming into it because teachers knew more about the university route, because that's usually the route that they've taken. And so when they're talking about things like post-18 destinations, they are accidentally promoting university just because they know more about it. And then it's sort of is like, right, we'll spend 15 minutes talking about uni because I feel comfortable talking about that. And then in the last 5 minutes, I'll quickly tell you there's apprenticeships and gap years and blah, 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 and not really spend as much time sharing that information with the students and therefore creating unintentional bias. So the tutor program is a full 39-week for year 10 and 46-week for year 12 because there's two options for term 6. They can choose to learn more about university or they can choose to learn more about apprenticeships. And they are 20-minute videos. So basically your tutors log into the Padlet. You obviously are given the password and everything once you purchase this. And then they will get the booklet and they will get every week. So the tutor will just log in, find term 1, week 1, press play. Term 2, week 2, press play. So it's really, really simple. The videos are not just me talking at the laptop. There's loads of interactive activities. So all the sessions run alongside a booklet that students can have digitally if you're a school that's lucky enough to have good IT, or a written printed version if that's how would work best for you. And yeah, so there's constant interactive activities throughout. We've got universities that talk as part of it. We've got employers that talk as part of it. We've got current apprentices that talk as part of it. So it's not just me running every single session. We've got other people that come on and guest present different topics where I felt like they were best placed. We've had about 20 schools that have had this. It's just run for the first time this year. And my favourite piece of feedback has been from a school that said, our tutors have felt they've learned a lot from watching the videos. And the reason I love that is one, it's providing tutors and teachers with training. But secondly, if those teachers and tutors were presenting these topics themselves, there are obviously bits that they would never have shared with students because if they're learning from the videos, that means they didn't know that information themselves. So it just really evidences how important it is to have a careers professional delivering your career education and not people who specialise in other teaching areas. So this one is £390 per year group or £700 for both year 10 and year 12. Every single summer I go in and I update all of the resources that need updating because of changes to things like national minimum wage, student finance, AI processes, all of that sort of thing. So you know that when your tutors are play, you are only ever going to have the most up-to-date information. So this is the information and these are the topics. But again, when I send out the slides, you can click read more and you'll be able to see those topics in full and really see exactly what students will be covering, but it is everything they need. I've been running tutor programs for years and years, so I know that everything that you could ever be looking for is in there. Okay, the next thing, what time are we on? I'm doing all right. These are brand new. I bought them out this year, and every single time we restock them, they sell out within a couple of weeks. Because they've got so many uses, I think is the reason why they've been so popular, and they're so easy to use. So the I Don't Know Careers card game started from that challenging time that we have as careers advisors sometimes when we have a student who just genuinely does not know. And you're having a one-to-one with them and you're, asking them questions and trying to learn more about them. And they're saying, don't know what my favorite subject is, don't know what I want to do. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to help them? How can I challenge them to dig deeper and think more about what they want to do and what they like and what they don't like and what their skills are and all those important things. And that's where this game came from. I've actually got one here. Put me all prepared. So it can be played as a conversation starter in a careers one-to-one, but it also can be played between peers. So if you have enough steps, you can give them out in a tutor time or as a careers workshop, and they can play it against each other, or they can play it as an interactive task activity where the teacher takes one card at a time and the room have to answer it. There's only one rule in all those situations. The only rule is you cannot answer with I don't know. So you have to really challenge yourself to find an answer. And as long as you answer that question, you get the card. The person with the most cards at the end wins the game. It's really simple. The types of questions that are in here, let's just take out some random ones and see what we get. So we've got, what's the best decision that you made when you were picking your current subjects? We have got, what is the top goal you would like to achieve in the next year? And we have got, do you see yourself going to university in the future? And all they have to do is dig deep and find an answer that is not, I don't know. So this game is £25, but for all of you guys that are on the call or watching the recording, until the 31st of August, we have got a discount code for you that is summer 2024. That you can just put in on the website and it will give you £5 off. So you can get a pack for £20 and there's no postal packaging payment either. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Thank you, Loretta. I love it too. I've been off this year on maternity, so I haven't actually got to use these myself in schools, but I'm back in schools in September and I cannot wait to actually use them in person. Everyone's been telling me how good they are and I'm like, oh, thanks. Well, I haven't actually used them, but I will be, so I'm really excited. Okay. But our next, and this is brand new, like fresh off the printer, they've only arrived this week. The next thing that we have is a careers professional wall calendar. I am fed up of careers professionals having to use teachers' diaries and teachers' stationery because we don't have our own stuff. So my plan was to do a full diary for this year, but I couldn't find a printer that was high enough quality that I was happy with. So I paused that until next year. But what we have got is a wall calendar. It has got, again, I've got a copy here, it's got all of the national days and weeks on it that our free digital calendar has got. So you might be able to see in here where the little red text is. So it's got things like European Day of Languages, National Coding Week, obviously National Friendship Week, all of those sorts of things in there. And then the top bit gives you a space to decide what you want to focus on, your most important things for the month, your to-do list. I know that this is a bit hopeful that we've got an 8-point to-do list, but bear with me. Important dates that are coming up that month, what you're excited for, what you're grateful for, and then a quote of the month. And when I go back to schools in September, I'm going to use this bit. We send out a student survey with all of our action plans after our careers guidance meetings. And I'm going to put my favourite nice feedback in there. So at the end of the year, I can flick through and see all the nice things that students have said about their careers guidance. Again, these are £25, but I've got a discount code for you, which is Schools Out. I wanted to do Schools Out for summer, but that was a bit long. Again, available until the 31st of August, gives you £5 off. So if anybody would like one, then go for it. If you are a stationery geek like me, then this is right up your street. I love the digital calendar, and I love that it's free. But sometimes you just need to write things down, and sometimes you just need to see things on the wall in front of you. So that's what this allows you to do. Now, these are the things that we've currently got in development. So all the things we spoke about are available to purchase and take advantage of immediately. And these are the things that are coming. We're just finalising some details. So this is going to be similar to our apprenticeship academy, but it is going to be a university academy. And it is going to be run by Liz. So Liz's background is working in independent schools. And this is going to be, the academy is going to be based on like an introduction to competitive universities. So it's going to cover Oxbridge applications, it's going to cover Russell Group applications, all of those sorts of things that if you are independent or private school, you're probably used to doing lots and lots of every year. But as state schools, you might have less students each year, or you might have not sort of looked at Oxbridge applications and things before. So if you're not confident in that area, then this is somewhere that you will be able to refer your students to learn about competitive universities and what the difference is, I guess, from other applications, the other things they might be asked to do, like admissions tests, how to prepare for those, all of that sort of thing. We're still working out the cost and we're still working out the dates. One of the big questions that we are thinking about is if this should be like the apprenticeship academy, where the school pays a certain amount and then they refer them, or if this is something that parents should fund. And if we were to do it like that, then we would have a page where students could apply for a funded place, because we want it to be available for everyone. That's the whole point. If anyone's got any thoughts on the best way to do that, then please do get in touch. We want this to work for everyone. There's no point us running an academy that's only got 2 kids on it. We want this to be available to everyone. The whole point is that we're helping people. So any thoughts on that, please do let me know. But that's in the pipeline, so keep an eye out for that. And then last thing, I am working on a strategy training program at the moment. I get a lot of messages, which is great and fine, and I love them. This is not a complaint at all. From people that are new to role saying, I've just started at this school, or I've just been given the job of careers. What should I do? Where should I start? How can I do great things? So I'm looking to put together a career strategy training program that will be able to be, it's like a recorded thing, so it can be completed in your own time. And by the end of the program, you will come away with a written careers program, which outlines your strategic aims, outlines what happens if your students are not meeting the outcome for their particular year group, and basically just really works towards benchmark 3 and how you are meeting the needs of all of your students, as well as meeting obviously the all important frameworks and ensuring you have everything that Ofsted are looking for. So that is again in progress. I was going to do it over the summer, but I'm not going to have time, so it's probably going to come out in January 2025. So keep an eye out for that as well. And then my last couple of slides. So this is an idea of what an invoice could look like if you had a couple of our different products, and this is an example of how that invoice would meet the Gatsby benchmarks. I'm not going to read it out to you because you are all very capable and all have a good understanding, I'm sure, of the Gatsby benchmarks anyway. So that's what we're looking at. And another important thing to say is that on our website, we've got Gatsby benchmark statements, which is basically a small paragraph that you can copy and paste for each of the products that you have that explains what benchmarks they meet and how they meet them. So rather than you having to go onto Compass Plus and say, we get the newsletter from the careers people, it does this, blah, 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 you can just copy and paste our paragraph and then you're covered. So that's good as well for Compass Plus, for your Ofsted evidence folder, for putting in your careers program that goes on your website, all of that good stuff. I just try and save you guys as much time as possible. Anything I can do that means you've got one less thing to do, then I will do it. This is just some nice things that people have said from a couple of different schools. Yeah, you can read them. We've got lots of testimonies from lots of schools. So if you would like one from a school in your area or a school that sort of meets your demographic a bit more in that it's an independent school or a private school, then please let me know. I've got lots of people who have said, people in touch with me, or I've got some nice things to say, which is obviously lovely. Okay, last bit, what to do next. So do you have questions about how our products could work in your setting? The answer is yes. Then you can book a call with me and I can help you to work out where they might fit and how you might be able to use them. Again, you will have access to all these links when I send the slides out. And if you're like, no, I don't have any questions, then the next question to ask yourself is, do I have access to a school card? Will finance let me just check out with these things? Probably not, but anyway, if the answer is yes, you can go to the careerspeople.co.uk and you can order to your heart's content anything you want. Make sure you use the discount codes. And if the answer to that question is no, then all you need to do is contact me and I can generate you an invoice, and finance will probably be happy with that. They usually are. So that's our little flow chart of what to do next. If you've got questions, if you need help, if you'd like an invoice raised, etc., etc. And if you're looking at that thinking, my brain, this is term 6, why are you giving me this flow chart? Just send me an email and I can help with anything. And if you've listened to all that and you're like, all sounds great, but I've got no money at all, then here's some of the things that you can do. We do have an ebook, which is called the Careers Professional Handbook. It's full of quick wins of how to meet the Gatsby benchmarks. I wrote this when I met all 8 benchmarks for my first ever school back in 2019. I've been back and updated it since, don't worry, but it's just nice. It's just not black and white. It's just full of humour and nice things. There is actually a small price on that at the moment, but I might get rid of it. Let me think about that. But at the moment, I think it's up for £49. It's always funny when you price things up because it's like, right, I want as many people as possible to have this, but I also have to put a value on my time and my knowledge and my passion and my love that I put into this product, because that's what business is, right? You can follow me on LinkedIn. I post pretty much every single day about just stuff and impact and things that are all relevant to our industry. I do a lot of work with lots of other companies and collaborate with lots of other companies in the career space. So yeah, please do follow me. And when you get these slides, you can click these links so you can just go straight through to all these things. You can subscribe to our free Careers Professional newsletter. So I send it out every Monday, and it's just a collation of all the good stuff that I've seen and heard about. I put it all in a newsletter and just send it out to you guys so that you don't have to constantly be on LinkedIn and clicking around like I am. It's all in there for you. As I referenced earlier, every year we do a free digital calendar, and you can access that. You just click this link, put in your email, and then you can download it completely free, and it's got all of the national events and things in that you will need. And we've recently launched our online community. It's called the Careers Circle. At the moment, it is just a discussion forum. So you can, there's lots of different circles that you can join. So for example, there's a circle for people that are new to role. There's a circle for people that are interested in learning more about SEND and neurodivergent support. There's a circle for students that I think, sorry, not students, a circle for professionals that are thinking of going self-employed. Everything is covered on there, I hope. And if it's not, tell me. So at the moment, there's loads of different discussions going on there. I get emails every day of people talking about different things and asking different questions, which is great. You can make a profile on there. It's a nice little space for us to use. Come September, I've just posted on there every Monday morning, we are going to have a virtual coffee. So as we all know, being a careers professional in a school can be a very isolating role, especially if you are a one-man or one-woman band. So it's just a way to bring us together, even if it's virtually, to share and to collaborate and just to support one another. So the virtual coffees are already on there for term one. And we're also going to have, it's probably going to be bi-monthly training sessions on there as well. And there'll be training sessions that are run by people within our industry. So things like how to launch work experience, that sort of stuff. But we'll also have some people from outside our industry do talks on things like how to collaborate with universities, how to make sure your practice is trauma informed, loads of stuff. I've got lots of speakers I'm in touch with, and I'm going to pull them into our industry and learn everything we possibly can from them. It's all going to be free. Yeah, please join. It's been really great. UCAS sponsored the development of the Careers Circle, so we would not have that space on the World Wide Web if it wasn't for UCAS. So a huge thank you to them. And yeah, now we're working with them to make it the best space possible for everybody. That is me done. Am I on time? Yeah, I started a couple of minutes late, so that is within half an hour. If there is anything at all that I can help with, then please get in touch using the email there. And if I don't hear from you and you just check out, I will probably send you an email anyway to see how you're getting on, because I like to talk and I like to chat, as you can tell, and collaborate and just make sure everyone's getting the most they can out of the products that they purchase from us. I know we've all got really tight budgets, and so any single pound that you spend with me, I'm always very thankful, because I know it could have gone on 101 different things. Thank you very much.